All right, I am at the 71 unit storage facility we recently bought, and I'm going to tell you how you can make $50,000 in 6 months. Okay, so who wouldn't want to make $50,000 in 6 months? So actually, it's been a little bit less than 6 months since we bought this storage facility. And I want to first say it's not like tangibly I have $50,000 of cash in my hand. What I'm talking about is we built $50,000 of equity, or we built the value up at $50,000 in, roughly 3 to 4 months. Now, some of you guys that are in business, I know I have a lot of people that follow me who maybe follow my buddy Clayton Roll, who has the dumpster business. Now, you guys, a lot of times, and Clayton's not this way, and I know a lot of you guys aren't this way, but I'm talking to the ones out there that think that you need to trade more time to build more net worth or to make more money. And the lens that you need to start looking at life and business through is like, how can I leverage my time or my money the most? How can I not trade more time for more money? And that's why a lot of people gravitate towards real estate, is because you can increase the value of commercial real estate really quickly, and not necessarily be trading your time for money. So let me break this down a little bit more. This is the storage facility I'm talking about, and I'll show you just a few pictures of the facility. So this is, what it looked like when we bought it, pretty ugly and nothing too fancy. This is inside one of the units. It's a concrete facility. And stick with me, guys, and even if you're not a real estate person, I want to get this concept through your head on how to build equity in commercial real estate. So even if you're not in real estate, as a day job, this can benefit you in other ways. So what we did was we primed the doors, and then we primed the walls. Here's everything painted. The walls are all painted the final coat here, and then the doors were primed. And then what we ended up doing was going with a blue on the doors and gray on the walls. So it looks so much better. And I'm going to jump into a spreadsheet here in a second. But I just want to talk about how commercial real estate works. And this is why it's so powerful. If you think about a residential house, a single family home, it's not based on the income. So if you buy that as a rental property, it doesn't matter if that single family house brings in $500 a month or $5,000. It's still going to be worth about the same. It's going to be valued based on comparable sales. So if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, you're going to look at other 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes, and it's all going to be about the same. With commercial real estate, you're not doing that. You are basing it on the income, the NOI. You're going to hear about NOI a lot in commercial real estate. That's because NOI is so powerful, and I'll show you why in a minute. So when you go buy, again, a single family house, it's not based on income, but commercial real estate it is. So if you can find ways to grow that income on a property, and maybe it's not necessarily raising rents, maybe it's decreasing expenses. If you think about it, you've got your top line, your income, your rent up here, then you've got all these expenses. And then so it's income minus the expenses, and then whatever's left over is your bottom line, your NOI, your net operating income. So let's jump into this little spreadsheet. And so I'm gonna show you how we created, $50,000 worth of value in a really short time, all by just getting the revenue up. So we purchased the storage facility for $330,000. We're putting some work into it, some paint, $18,000, some repairs and maintenance of $10,000. So let's say we're all in about $360,000. Now, what we have now got the income up, and I don't have it written down what it was when we purchased the facility. It was like less than $2,000 a month that was coming in on it. So, we were able to rent out the units. We were able to get the rents moved to market rents. We were able to decrease some of the expenses by getting a different lawn care company, by getting rid of the trash can that we didn't, or the dumpster we didn't need. So, you got to figure out ways you can cut expenses and raise, you don't always have to raise the income, but if you can raise income, that's, something else that you can do. So if we take this 3,950, multiply it times 12, here's our gross income. I know in a storage facility about this size that I'm going to have about 30% of the income go towards expenses. And so that's what's called an expense ratio. So we're going to subtract out 30% of that gross number, and that's going to leave us with an NOI, a net operating income of 33 grand roughly. And now you're going to divide that by an 8 cap. Now, this video, I don't want to confuse those that aren't in real estate what a cap rate is, but you find it by taking, it's a ratio, it's a percentage. It's the NOI divided by the purchase price. So I'm not going to get into that, but what the point is that I'm trying to get at is how you can increase the value so quickly by modifying that NOI number. So we're going to take that 33,000, divide it by 8, that's 8%. That's going to bring the new value of the building to 414,000. So, from 360 all in all the way to 414 grand. And then, over here, so new valuation minus our all in, and that gives us, roughly 50 some thousand of equity built. Again, it's not like that's cash directly in my pocket. I can't hold that cash unless I was to either go do like a cash out refinance, or maybe I was to sell the property, or you can, get lines of credit against the equity. There's different ways you can tap into that, but that is the overall point. So now I want to show you again how powerful it is, and I'm going to switch my screen here so that you guys can see this a little bit better. When you, I think you can see this. So let's take this number. Let's say that now we are able to get the rent up from, it was $39.50. Let's say that we're able to get, I have projections that by the end of the year, we should be able to get to around $4,500 a month. So if we get it to $4,500 a month times 12, that's our gross, minus our 30% for expenses. So there's the NOI number, and we're going to divide that by the 8 cap, 8%. Now our value is at 372,000. So that's how crazy it is. How quick you can change the value of commercial real estate by modifying that number. So if you can go out and find a property that is, way under market rents, or maybe it's heavily vacant, maybe you're able to take some vacant land and build something and get that income up. That's why it's so powerful, and that's the lens that I start to think through. 99% of my time is like, okay, this piece of property, how can I modify that NOI number? How can I decrease the expenses or increase the income to make those wild equity plays? So hopefully that makes sense. And if you guys have more specific questions about how I run the numbers, and if you have questions about like what a cap rate is and all that, don't hesitate to ask me. You can always find me on other social media platforms like Instagram. I'm pretty interactive on there, so feel free to drop me some questions there in my DMs. So hopefully that made some sense. Hopefully it inspires some of you to not trade so much time for money, but think about ways that you can leverage your money and your time, because that's, time is the most valuable resource that you have. So, find out ways that you can create more time. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.